Hello, my name is Barbara Pariente, and I'm the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. I would like to welcome you to jury duty. Today, you have an opportunity to exercise a right often seen as a dramatic plot from movies and television. After all, what could be more dramatic than a main character waiting for a group of strangers to decide his or her fate? But jurors aren't strangers. They are people from your community, and the words trial by jury do not just affect that one actor caught in a plot twist. In the real world, the world you and I live in, trial by jury is important to everyone who lives here and is essential for democracy in America. Jury service is a privilege and responsibility of citizenship. Like voting, this constitutional right is a civic activity that lets Americans directly participate in our democracy. However, unlike voting, it is a duty that people often complain about and try to avoid. But it is critically important, not just because it's part of the system of checks and balances created by our founding fathers. It is important because jury service allows a group of everyday people to make decisions affecting the life, liberty, and property of one of their own. These decisions affect millions of lives and have a tremendous impact on this nation and this state's economy and society. America is one of the few countries that gives its citizens this kind of power. In the video that follows, I hope you learn more about the importance of jury service. I also hope that when you walk into the courtroom, you'll remember that your participation helps to protect the rights guaranteed by our state and federal constitutions. Thank you.
Jury duty holds a special place in America. It's a critical part of our system of justice, one of the pillars of our democracy. Jury duty is a prime example of the high value we as a people place on the role of the individual citizen. From the days of the founding of our nation, we have fought to guarantee our right to trial by jury, and then to preserve that right. To serve on a jury is not only a privilege, but an obligation. When a citizen is called to serve, they take on a serious responsibility, a responsibility that can profoundly affect the lives of other citizens. It should not be taken lightly. It's an obligation that, when summoned to serve, a citizen must fulfill. To serve on a jury in Florida, you must be at least 18 years of age, be a resident of the county which has called you, a citizen of the United States, and have your civil rights intact.
I've heard some of my friends complain about being called for jury duty. To me, serving on a jury would be a way of repaying this country for the incredible freedom that I have, that we all have, and for the opportunity to make a good life for myself and my family.
Consider how little is being asked, and then think about how much is actually received in return. If you have received the summons for jury duty, you will either serve 1 day of service, which may include being on telephone standby or waiting in the jury pool room to be called on a panel, or you may be selected to serve as a juror for a trial. If so, your service will end upon the completion of that trial. In any of these cases, you will have fulfilled your obligation for 1 year. The core of our country's laws is the Constitution of the United States, and many of these rights that we cherish are found in the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the accused in a criminal trial a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury. The Seventh Amendment preserves the rights to the parties in what we now call civil trials, the right to a jury trial. Jurors will be called to serve in either criminal cases in which a crime has occurred, or in civil cases in which the dispute is over something of value. Such guarantees were rare when the writers of the Constitution penned them more than 2 centuries ago, and they are still rare today. Our founding fathers laid the foundation of our judicial system on the idea that a criminal defendant is considered innocent until proven guilty. A simple but profound concept. Our system of trial by jury places its trust in the hands of individual citizens. The idea that given sufficient information, we as typical citizens can fairly determine if another person is guilty or not guilty. It is something in which we can take great pride and comfort.
When you've lived in a country that doesn't have a trial by jury, you can really appreciate how special this process is.
When you serve on a jury, you must consider the views and opinions of other jurors. Then, together, come to a decision about the defendant in criminal cases or the respondent in civil cases. Jury service is a powerful privilege because lives are changed as a result of a jury's decision. For each of us, the real return on investing our time is the promise that the right to a trial by jury is preserved as intended by the United States Constitution. This ensures that each of us, should we ever be in a position to face a jury as either a defendant or a respondent, will have the comfort of knowing that citizens much like ourselves will be hearing us and deciding our case.
The people on my jury were young and old. We each had different kinds of jobs. Some had gone to college, others hadn't. But in that room, each person treated the other with respect. Everybody got a turn to speak while the others listened. On the jury, we each spoke and we each listened. It was great.
It's important to remember that justice in the hands of a jury of fellow citizens is not an abstract concept that we just read about. It's about us. It's what makes America and Americans unique. We trust our fellow citizens to make many of the important decisions regarding the laws that determine how we live together in our communities. 5 days a week, the courtrooms in our communities fill with Americans who come together to resolve disputes between people or businesses, or to determine if a person is guilty or not guilty. It's all very real and very important, because any of us at any time may need to count on a jury of citizens just like us to make the right decision for us. You know, accidents or crimes can take place anywhere. Circumstances can come together that can bring anyone face to face with our justice system. And when they do, each one of us will want to know that a jury of fellow citizens will be paying close attention to what is being said and what it means. Our courts exist to resolve disputes and to determine if a person accused of a crime is guilty or not guilty. Whichever it is, a jury of citizens will hear the evidence and decide the case based on facts. Every day in courtrooms throughout Florida and across our nation, citizens sit together as a jury. And in each trial, someone anxiously awaits for a jury to announce a verdict, knowing that the jurors listened carefully, paid attention, and have taken the charge given to them seriously. After all, what kind of jury would you like to hear your case? Let that determine what kind of juror you'll be.
By the time the trial was over, I felt proud that I had played a part in our justice system. The better we do our jobs as jurors, the better the system will be for everyone.
The American jury system is alive here in Florida because citizens truly give of themselves when they serve. This system will continue to serve the cause of justice in our country as long as citizens like us, when called, take their obligations seriously. It's an obligation that has been passed down to us by the generations before us who have fought in our nation's wars to preserve it, and by those who struggled, sacrificed, and took untold risks to get here so they and their children could enjoy the freedoms this country offers. Consider how fortunate we all are to be here in America and a part of this system of democracy. And consider how little is asked of you to get so much back in return. So when any of us are summoned to jury service, let's try and think of what a special opportunity we've been given. It's our chance to reaffirm one of the most important rights we have as Americans, the right to be tried by an impartial jury of citizens, people just like me and you. So let's all contribute and commit to keeping our republic and freedoms strong.